Let me transition to Noah Lyles, representing the USA, track star. The other day on First Take, I had to articulate what some would deem harsh words for Noah Lyles and what he had to say about NBA players calling themselves world champions. If you didn't catch uh, what he said that set this all up, let me read you the quote that Noah Lyles said. He said, quote, I have to watch the NBA finals and they have world champion on their heads. World champion of what? The United States? Don't get me wrong, I love the US at times, but that ain't the world. That's what he said. I proceeded to call him ignorant, to call his position ignorant. And the reason I felt adamant about that is because when I looked at it, I said, wait a minute. I happen to know, as a guy that covers the NBA and has done so for the better part of the last 30 years, I happen to know for a fact that nearly a third of NBA players are not from the United States. I happen to know for a fact that you're talking about over 140 players that are from 40 different countries. 120 players that are from 40. Actually, it is 140. 140 players at least that are from 40 different countries and 6 different continents. All right. So I'm looking at it from that standpoint and I'm saying, what the hell is he talking about? It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever what he's trying to say. It really didn't. It didn't make any sense to me. And I felt adamant about that. But then I got a text from a friend. And that friend would happen to be none other than a sensational actor who knows a thing or two about being an international figure because he's German, big on tennis or whatever, a heartthrob because women think that he's one of the most gorgeous men on the planet, but he is taken. Nicola Ree Parker is his lovely, wonderful wife, who is a friend of mine, and she's one of the most beautiful human beings I've ever known in my life. As beautiful as she is physically, she's one of the most beautiful people I have ever known. I love her so much, and I love this brother as well. And so I thought it was appropriate to give an education or to share with y'all an education he dropped on me, which I had to bow down to and acknowledge that he said. And I'm going to read it word for word for y'all. He didn't ask me to. He didn't even know I'm doing it, but I'm going to do it anyway because that's how much love and respect I have for him. I always have. We're really good friends. I love him to death. And he saw the whole Noah Lyles situation from a different angle than myself. This is Boris Kojo to your friend Stephen A. Smith, to yours truly. My brother, I wanted to shoot you this text because you might have gotten one wrong today. I don't believe Noah Lyles meant to discredit any player or their level of play, but to draw attention to the uniquely American habit of calling a national contest a world championship. Fact number one, world championships are global competitions in which individuals and or teams representing their respective countries compete for a world title. Examples, FIFA World Cup, FIBA World Cup, etc. Fact number two, Los Angeles is a city in the U.S. with a team called the Lakers. It is not a country and therefore couldn't possibly compete in or win a world championship, but rather capture multiple NBA titles. Fact number three, the NBA is an American sports league. The only international aspects of some of the players and the fact that it's watched around the globe. Just because teams compete in the best leagues in the world doesn't make them world champions. The Premier League in England is arguably the best football/soccer league in the world. Yet nobody would ever call Manchester United a world champion. It would just be incorrect. Brother, you're right. The NBA has over 100 international players. Basketball is a global game. Of course, they want to play in the best league possible with a chance to compete on the highest level. But that has absolutely nothing to do with calling the NBA champion a world champion. The FIBA World Cup will crown a world champion in the next few weeks, and that title will go to a deserving team comprised of players of the same nationality representing their country. Don't you know that just like, apple pie on the 4th of July, promoting winners of professional domestic leagues as world championships has been an American tradition for decades. It goes along with the other very American custom of labeling everything American as the best, greatest, biggest, most dominant, awesomeness. I know this is not a word, just like the Warriors aren't the world champions, but just because it's tradition doesn't make it right. It's wrong. Maybe it's debatable, but it's still wrong. He was right, which is why I apologized to Noah Lyles. My point, I believe, is valid. If you got international players from all over the world coming to the best basketball league in the world, I can understand how you could call yourself world champions. But he got literal with it. And from a literal perspective, Boris Kojo was right. That makes Noah Lyles right. It made me, at the very least, wrong to call his point and perspective ignorant. And that is why I apologized on first take. And it is why I'm apologizing now. Because when you're a man and you're an adult and somebody else makes a point, you got to give it up. And you got to be real with it. And that's what I'm doing right now. Plain and simple.